I did not know what was on the cusp of happening. Hi, and welcome back to Healing Conversations and Unapologetic Transitions. If this is your first time, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Jonte Gibson Bryant. I am founder and executive director of Awaken Her Wellness, Inc., a 501c3 charitable organization whose mission is to empower women to achieve their optimal balance of health and wellness, crucial to living their highest quality of life. Again, this is Healing Conversations and Unapologetic Transitions. And for those of you who are returning, thank you. Thank you for joining me once again. I pray that these conversations are enlightening and that they are helping you along your journey to heal and to transition without apology. I am recording this video today because I am in what could be defined as one of the hardest transitions I've had thus far. Many of you may know, and for those of you who don't, I celebrated my 39th birthday last week on January 18th. Leading up to this birthday, leading up to 2024, I have had major expectations. I still maintain those expectations. I believe with my whole entire being that this year is going to be the year that my career as a speaker, as a coach, as an author, as a writer, and whatever else God has for me, that it really takes off. But of course, I am facing some challenges in the midst of that. I did not know what was on the cusp of happening. As of Tuesday morning, I am separated from my husband of 13 and a half years. And I can't say that I didn't know it was coming. I knew, I had a feeling there was some transitions. Both he and I love each other, but life happens, and he is growing and healing, and so am I. And so that's what has been taking place. It's a part of our healing journey. So yes, this is interesting. This is hard. I think the hardest part for me is the not knowing. The not knowing what's going to happen next week, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 1 year from now. We live in North Carolina, and in the state of North Carolina, you have to be separated for 1 year before you can get a divorce. And I think that's a good thing, but it can also make closure very difficult. Both he and I have discussed it, and the hope is that things will get back together, but we don't know. We don't know. We don't know what that means for us, and I don't know what that means for me. And it's hard because I am one of those people who need to know what's going to happen, when, where. Give me the details. Not knowing has probably been one of the hardest parts of my walk with Christ, because I want to know. I know how my life began. I've lived those struggles. And I am in the midst of some things right now. And he has given me glimpses of what my future is going to look like. But the road that I am having to travel, the bumps, the ups, the downs, the turns, the unknowns, it's forcing me to go even deeper. It's forcing me to look at my relationship with Christ. And though I can admit that I trust him so much more now than I once did, it is obvious that I'm still struggling in the area of trust. He knows what I expect. He knows what I'm looking forward to. He knows what he has promised me, and I believe what he has promised me. The road to get there, I'm not so sure about. So yes, that's where I am today. I am not quite a week into a separation, but I am in the midst of a marital separation. Just like with my children, I am having to learn to hold on while letting go. I am being required to go deeper still. As a female empowerment person, as a female focused woman, as an empowerment focused woman, I had to look at myself and I had to be honest with the things that I've said to other women as it pertains to their self-worth and going after what they deserve. And I had to ask myself, do you believe you have been getting what you deserve, what you are worth? I'm not one of those people who believes that you should do as I am saying, but not as I am doing. That's hypocritical. I live by integrity. Lying is one of my pet peeves. I can't stand a liar. And to know that I am encouraging women to stand steadfast in self-worth, not holding myself to that same standard, it was difficult. It has been difficult. And then the other day, I came across a video. And in the video, the guy said, a man does not respect a woman that he is not afraid to lose. I've used divorce as a tool, as a weapon, trying to provoke my husband to demonstrate how much he actually wanted me. Because being someone who has daddy issues and abandonment issues and rejection issues, I have desperately just wanted to know that if something happened, would you come after me? I don't know. I can't say that I've gotten that answer. I can say that though very, 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 very difficult, what is going on is necessary. Because it has caused him to look at himself in a way. And let me put this out there. My husband is a good man. He's human, but he is a good man. He provides for us. He has believed in me, in my dreams, like no one else. He is my best friend. I can cut up with him. One of the things that I love most about him is I can be completely and unapologetically who I am. And even if it gets on his nerves, he accepts me. And I appreciate that man for that. But he's human. And just like I've had to go on my own healing journey, I am still on a healing journey. There's still some wounds within me that have to be healed. But just like I had to go on mine, he has to go on his. And this separation caused him to know that. But it's scary. It's scary knowing that this is where we are. Prior to my husband, my past was pretty blemished. I experienced promiscuity. I was pretty promiscuous, actually. Upon getting married, I committed to this man. So for 13 and a half years, I've been with no one else in any way. There have been some conversations here and there, but as far as intimacy goes, there has been no other intimate encounters. And I'm not looking to add anyone to that. It is my hope and prayer. It is both of our hope and prayer that God continues to show us favor and what he needs and the areas that he needs healing in, He'll get that. And so will I. And then we'll come back being our best selves. So no, I'm not looking to be with anyone else. I'm over the whole game of using the threat of divorce to try to force him to do something that he does not want to do. I'm sure he's sick of it. How it happened, I had to make up my mind one day. And I did. The hardest part was letting go. Letting go of the objects, the things in our home that represented he and I. Not letting go of him, the person, but letting go of those things. In doing so, he had to confront himself. And I have to confront myself. I have to confront, are the words I've been speaking as it pertains to divorce simply to manipulate? And if I'm honest, the answer is yes. If I'm honest, I was trying to get a rise out of him. If I'm honest, I wanted him to come after me and to pursue me. If I'm honest, it was a game. Maybe not a game that was premeditated, but a game no less. And here we are. Here we are. We've experienced a hard bout before. A number of years ago, we went through a season and I thought our marriage was over. And then we came back together. However, we didn't come back together healed versions of ourselves. It was the same he, the same I that came back together. But this time, if it is God's will, we hope to do it differently. So yes, 2024, year 39 of my life, began with me being a separated woman. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. It's hard. It's forcing me to be vulnerable in a way that's not comfortable to me at all. Vulnerability, I'm a very emotional person. Not one who cries too much. You will be hard pressed to get me to cry. But I feel a lot. Funny enough, I used to be what people called a crybaby. I cried all the time as a youth. And then I taught myself not to cry. And now I'm trying to teach myself that it's okay to cry again. Because crying is not a sign of weakness. And that's one thing I've shared with my husband and I shared with my son. Not necessarily about the crying, but it being okay with being vulnerable. But how can I tell them that it's okay being vulnerable and I myself am not giving myself permission to be vulnerable? Separation is hard. I don't know what the next few months mean for us. This is a difficult season, but it has the propensity, it has the capacity to be one of the most beautiful seasons in my life, in his life, as we both heal, both individually and eventually collectively. I know one thing's for certain and two things for sure. I'm not going back to the Jonte that I was prior to this marriage. Being with this one man has taught me that I don't have to give my body away. There is not a man, not a penis in this world that is worth me giving my worth away. It took a very long time for me to learn to love myself again. And I'm not about to jeopardize that. I'm not about to jeopardize that for nobody. So for those of you other women who are out there who may be facing the same thing, or for you men, it's okay. It's hard. Not just long ago, a few minutes ago, I had to say it out of my mouth. God, I do want my marriage. Because in truth, I've had to ask myself, have you really been earnestly and honestly praying the things that you want? I pray a covering over my husband. I pray a covering over my children. I pray a covering over my businesses. Have I really partnered with God in my pursuits, in his pursuits for me? If I'm being honest, I can't say that I have. Yes, God honors marriage. I do believe that. And for some, divorce is an option. I'm not saying that divorce is not an option. Heck, I'm not even saying it's not an option for us. I am saying that in this moment, I don't feel that to be true. We're going through this, but only time will tell how we'll get through this. This is another thing in and on our journey to purpose. So I welcome it. It's hard. It's forcing me to go within. If it's forcing me to expose myself in a way that is not the most comfortable, it's forcing me to look in the mirror in a deeper way. But I embrace it because I have high expectations for myself for this year. I do believe God has massive things for my future, massive plans for me, plans to prosper me and not to harm me, plans to give me a hope and a future.